Hey guys, it's Broitsu, and I just wanted to bring you the deck profile that I used in the most recent Turbo Duel Grand Prix to climb to Master 1 and show you some replays. We're playing Super Poly Turbo, enabled by Synchro Fusionist. When it's sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, you can add a Polymerization or Fusion spell from your deck to your hand. We're binning it with our 3 copies of Neos Fusion, summoning it back with Junk Synchron, and making a level 5 Synchro, usually Armades, to get a free Super Poly in the process. Our Super Poly target of choice is Dragon Necro Nether Soul Dragon. All you really need to know about this is that its materials are 2 zombie-type monsters, which is made effortlessly with Zombie World. We're using the Sacred Sunshine EX skill, which lets you use 3 speed counters to add a field spell from your deck to your hand, hence only 1 copy of the Zombie World. And if we open it, we can return it to the deck to draw a card by using 1 more speed counter. Everything else you see here is just disruption and consistency to get us up to that 20 card limit. For the card by card, we have the 3 copies of Junk Synchron. Our 2 semi-limited spots are taken, so we're using 2 copies of Sphere Karibo instead of Kiteroid. Synchro Fusionist, Neos, Super Poly, 2 MST, 2 Book, 2 Karma Cut. I only have 2 of each of these. If I had 3, I would probably use 3 Space, 3 Karma Cut, because setting monsters face down anti-synergizes with Super Poly. 1 copy of Tuning, 3 copies of Neos Fusion, Zombie World, and Tretch. For the extra deck, the only things you're really going to be making in a regular game are Dragon Necro, Brave Neos, and Armades. Amatrix is another level 5 option that can get over some things that Armades can't. We also have Armory Arm to make with Junk Synchron and Sphere Karibo. And Junk Warrior and Gaia as another Super Poly target because I don't run a Skuridao. Let's watch some replays, shall we? Our first match here is against Fluffle, which they're going to open with a Toy Vendor Pitch Wings. They're going to draw the Polymerization, which is going to go right to the graveyard. They're then going to use this effect of Fluffle Bear to set another Toy Vendor to their field. They're going to activate the Wings effect in the grave, banishing that, drawing Toy Vendor effect, just getting a bunch of cards doing Fluffle stuff. They're going to get another Bear, activate this Toy Vendor. Using the Toy Vendor, they're going to pitch another Wings to get Dark Fusion this time. It's going to go to the graveyard. They're going to normal summon Bear, and we will pass. We get Neos Fusion off the top, which we're going to use to make our Brave Neos. We're going to set 2 and just slam into that Fluffle Bear, getting Neos Fusion from the deck and passing back. Our opponent is going to normal summon Owl to get a copy of Polymerization to their hand. They're going to activate the Wings effect, banishing the Bear to draw a couple. Toy Vendor, getting Edge Imp Sabers from deck. Our opponent's going to use Poly to fuse off a bunch of stuff into a copy of Fright for Tiger, which they're going to use to target and destroy our board. But we're going to Karma Cut, pitching the extra Neos Fusion to banish the Tiger. We're going to banish a Neos Fusion to protect our Brave Neos and draw for turn. Seems like we're pretty safe here, but we cannot play through Kiteroid, so we're going to use our skill to get to get Zombie World from deck. We're going to normal summon Junk Synchron, special summon from grave our copy of Synchro Fusionist, and make Armades here. Synchro Fusionist is going to trigger. We're going to get Super Poly from our deck. We're going to activate the Zombie World, set the Super Poly and a MST, go to battle, hit with Armades, and yes, they do have the Kiteroid, which they're going to pitch to avoid lethal. It's their turn again, and they're going to use their speed spell to draw to discard 1. Edge Imp Saber's effect is going to summon it back from the graveyard, and they're going to normal summon Wings. Fright for Fusion is going to banish a bunch of stuff for another Tiger, which they're going to use to pop a bunch of stuff on our field. But they are out of resources, so we can Super Poly using our Brave Neos and their Tiger to make another Soul Dragon, ending their turn, so that on our turn, we can use our Armades to hit through Kiteroid for game. Our second opponent is going to be playing Cypher. They'll start off with the Twin Raptor, pitching a Tranger, using the Tranger effect to get Interference. They're going to use the Biplane they summoned to make both of his monsters level 8 before overlaying into a Cypher Dragon, which they will immediately rank up into Cypher Blade. For our turn, and by the way, this was before I realized that, wait, Countergate is horrible and Karma Cut is in the game. We're going to draw for turn. We're going to use our Tuning. We're going to get a copy of Junk Synchron to hand, sending a card to the graveyard in the process. We're going to set 3, activate the effect of our skill to get Zombie World to hand and pass it back. They're going to draw. They're going to activate their Cypher Interference. They're going to detach Cypher Dragon from Cypher Blade Dragon, targeting our MST, which we're going to use on their back row. We're going to get rid of that Floodgate Trap Hole set there. They're going to reborn their Cypher Dragon from Graveyard, ranking it up into full armor. They're going to use Onigami Combo to try to play through Kite-Roid here, giving this full armor 2 attacks. Cypher Blade is going to hit into our Synchro Fusionist, and full armor is going to attack directly, but we're going to Sphere Karibo to switch it to defense. We have everything we need here. We're going to normal summon Junk Synchron, use the effect to summon back Synchro Fusionist from grave. We're going to make our Mateys trigger Synchro Fusionist in grave to get ourselves that Super Poly. We're going to activate Zombie World and then activate Super Poly, pitching the Neos Fusion, fusing off their board into Nether Soul, and attacking for game. Our third and final match this game is going to be against a Lightsworn pile, and we are going to go first with the bunch of back row, which we're all going to set and end turn. Opponent is going to go Solar Recharge, into Solar Recharge, into Charge of the Light Brigade, which they're going to use to add a copy of Lumina to hand. They're going to normal summon the Lumina, using the effect for another Lumina, pitching Glow Up Bulb. They're going to use that second Lumina to summon Raiden from grave. Raiden's going to bin a couple more cards before they go into Black Rose, because they're afraid of our back row. They're going to pass there. And off the top, we get Sphere Karibo. That's fine. We'll use our skill to get Zombie World so we don't have a dead draw next turn. We'll set our MST, and our opponent is going to use their skill to draw a card. They're going to normal summon Rated and just dome us for 17, sending a couple more cards to the graveyard. We'll draw... Oh, great. It's another Sphere Karibo. We'll use our skill to get a card draw. Neos Fusion off the top. Perfect. We're going to use Neos Fusion to get that Brave Neos to hand, swinging in, forcing their Bacon Saver. For their turn, they're going to normal summon Lumina, pitching to summon Felis from grave. They're going to sink into Michael. Michael outs Brave Neos pretty cleanly. They're going to hit us for 17, and then we will Sphere Karibo the Michael and draw for turn. Let's see here. Junk Synchron, just the card we needed. We'll go ahead and get that Zombie World back. We're going to need that. We're going to normal summon Junk Synchron. We're going to special summon from the graveyard our Synchro Fusionist. We're going to make our Mateys here, using the Synchro Fusionist to get Super Poly. We're going to use Sacred Sunshine to put the Zombie World back to draw a card, because we still have Sacred Sunshine live to get it right back. We're going to activate the effect of Zombie World. Super Polyan going to pitch the Karma Cut from our hand to fuse away his board. He has Stego Cyber engraved, so this is not lethal. So we're just going to hit with our Mateys and pass. Opponent's going to draw the last card in their deck. It's Reborn. That's pretty good. They're going to try to get back Michael. They're going to pay 1,000 here to banish our set. They're going to use Blazing Mars to banish 3 cards. Special summoning it back. Normal summoning Sphere Karibo so they can Blazing Mars us for 500. But we have the Sphere Karibo so they can't hit us over for lethal, and they will concede. That was a close one. So we're back here with the deck, and final thoughts? Man, am I glad that TDGP does not care about losses. This deck is so much fun, and you saw the games where I was able to actually execute the combo to some extent, being able to use that Super Poly to get rid of some kind of threat on the opponent's board, with the removal coming in clutch to keep the game manageable at any point. What you didn't see were the games where you open Neos double Junk Synchron. You didn't see the games where I opened nothing playable at all. You didn't see the games against Aroma, where all of my removal was in the bottom third of my deck. Overall, it's a lot of fun. Being able to search and resolve Super Poly is so satisfying to do, but it's not that good. As you saw in one of the games before, Michael is a very clean out to Brave Neos, and Lightsworn is pretty common. What you didn't see were matchups like Burning Abyss, where Farfa is a clean out to Brave Neos. You didn't see matchups like Rose Dragon, where Ruddy Rose makes it so that Synchro Fusionist's next turn is not soon enough. But yeah, it's fun. Thanks for watching.